All right. All righty, people. So, hey, let's get ready to lock in.
Locked and loaded. This a good topic right here.
All right, we up. All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
Good
Doing
morning.
good, doing good, doing good.
Hey man, appreciate y'all checking in. Appreciate it. Appreciate we checking in, man. Hey, I forget who I am today. Hey, I got so many things I be doing, but hey, imagine the big homie too, cuz shouty, aka the relationship guru, big goo on the streets. And so, and today, you know who I got with me, none other than the royal queen.
Oh yeah.
Hey, and she got another young fella, like I think he about 19 years old. Uh,
Man, I wish, I wish.
and I think he about 9. Hey, so man, we got none other than the James Taylor, man. Y'all show James some love, man. Check in for James. How you doing today, young brother? So,
How you doing, Nia Williams?
hey, Nia Williams, what you can, oh, you can see the stuff too, huh? Oh yeah, we
That's
in there.
James.
So,
That's James.
look,
That's James' sister.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
my
okay.
sister. Nia, that's my sister.
Oh, okay. Well, look, it's a family affair.
Oh yeah.
So that means that
Yes,
we can
sir.
really
Yes,
get
sir. Yes,
into some
sir.
stuff today. So this Two Cups of Truth podcast, man, and today I just went on here and labeled it, it's Love Deposit Wednesday, and we talking about post traumatic relationships. Um, and I really just want to, just jump off into some things that that's triggers. We just want to start with these triggers of things, then we'll get into, our personal looks at things and what we doing to help heal the community, what things we may have coming up. But but I just like to start out just talking about triggers, man. It ain't, you know, it, it ain't the bullet that kill people. It ain't the gun that kill people. It's the pulling of the trigger. you know, uh, and allowing your trigger to be pulled or allowing yourself to pull triggers. And when you get hit by stuff, when you get these scars, you get these wounds on you, understanding how to heal, understanding, what I'm saying, what you've been through, acknowledging what you've been through is very important. so you can know how not to go through it again, or if you go through it again, you know how to navigate and get back out. So, so I label this, post-traumatic relationships, cause I think majority, I would say, and I'm not a professional, I'm just a guru, but I'm not a professional. But I would say in my expertise, um, I say 85% of relationships are experiencing post-traumatic relationships, meaning that they're bringing post-traumatic trauma from their past life into their new life. So let's just start right there. So how do we feel about carrying this baggage? Who was that had the song "Bag Lady"?
That was
Uh,
Erica. Erica Badu.
yeah, that was a very important song. You know what I'm saying? But we got bag ladies and bag men. How do we identify them? Y'all
I
with
think
me?
it. Yeah, I think at first it's kind of hard to identify it, especially like when you dating. Because I feel like people are on their best behavior, so it's kind of hard to identify with that. Because I ask people sometimes, like that's in a crazy relationship, I be like, the person that's dealing with the trauma, like where does it turn? When does it start actually happening? You know.
Right. All right. So I think it's about honesty. Like if you met an alcoholic and they say I'm an alcoholic, would you still date them?
No.
Mm. So that's why people don't say, "Hey, look," when you meet you and they really like you. That's the reason why they don't say, "I got a problem."
Right.
So would you be honest? Would you? All right. So would you be honest, Mr. James? Would you be honest with a person if you met a young lady? Would you that you really like? Would you honestly tell her, "Hey, look, I got some demons"?
I don't think, for me, you know what I'm saying? I think it even go a little further back because I think we were, to me personally, I think to be a little honest growing up because, like, for the black culture, we were taught by our parents, like, whatever goes on in the house, stay in the house. A lot of times it was a lot of bad stuff going on, but we weren't allowed to speak on it. So I think he jumped into it already being dishonest. If I can add that.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. I would say that, and that's why because they say what goes on in the house stays in the house. That's another reason why I feel as if and that's another reason why I feel like it's like we have a hard time going and get help because of that statement there. What goes on in the house stays in the house. So we can't go off and say, hey, you know what? I need to get some help. I need some help overcoming these issues that I have. But I totally agree. Like so, from the root. So James, you saying from the root, from the way our family structure is, it just taught us to be a little deceptive.
Yeah, from the very like we thought we were doing the right thing by not bringing up issues that was affecting us. You know what I mean? We thought, okay, my mama said don't say nothing, so I'm not gonna speak on it. Then later in life, you know what I'm saying? It affects your whole character. It affects your whole behavior because you're timid. You have insecurities. All these things are just brought from that little thing, and it takes years later for you to realize, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like my mom and them taught me wrong, so now you spending a couple years trying to fix it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Right. So, and for men, and we can, and we can only speak from the men perspective, but it not only it goes a little bit deeper than that because we were taught to be tough. We were taught not to cry. we were taught not to show emotions in certain ways because that was weak. That was what women do. So, and when we dealing with scars and we dealing with heartbreak and we dealing with disappointment and we dealing with setback, that's not something that we rarely express because no woman wants to, like, let's be truthful, no woman wants to hear that. No woman wants to hear that, hey, you know what? I'm a vulnerable man. When you supposed to be her security. So Shay, how that go over well with women, Shay? Like, you know what I'm saying? You meet a man that's willing to be vulnerable, willing to say, hey, you know what, I'm a vulnerable person. And I'm at a time in my life when I really need you. I really need your support. I really need your love. Cause like I need to be rebuilt. And and then most women have the attitude, I'm not trying to raise no man.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I also feel like I have to agree with JT say, and I feel like a lot of this starts from in the house. It comes from the household, and like you said, we had to hold a lot of stuff in. you know and a lot of women are like that. You ask the question, like, would you be honest with somebody that you're dealing with demons, or you dealing with issues, and a person is not going to be honest because they feel like, if I really like this person, if I'm honest with them, they're going to run away. And then if they're not honest, and then you get years on down the line and you dealing with it, it's almost like the woman feel like, well, I didn't sign up for this. Like you said, I'm not your mom, so I didn't sign up for this.
Right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, Shay, how honest would you say women are about their post traumatic life before they enter a relationship?
I don't know, but I feel like women are more prone to talk about it with their mate. Like, I feel like women will come out first and admit it before a man would.
No, so now that's why I disagree because I don't think women just admit it. I think women put an expectation on, hey, look, if you're supposed to be a man, these are the things that you have to deal with as you are so kind. So women put whatever they going through. They say all women going through. You like every woman that I encounter say, you know what, you're not gonna get around this hurdle because every woman you encounter, whether you want to be with me or not, you're gonna have to deal with this. You're gonna have to deal with, cause we emotional and we get so they get the emotional pass card. So and because it's legal for them to be emotional, they can be extremely emotional and still never dealing with the trauma to even try to fix the problem. They just continue this cycle of being extremely emotional. Now this is just my personal opinion. But so what you got to say about that?
I mean, well, you and I gonna see things different anyway because you a man and I'm a woman. I feel like men are not going to be honest about it at first. Like, I get what you're saying, but I'm still going to stand with. I feel like women will come out first and say, "Hey, this is what I'm dealing with," before a man would.
Oh yeah, I believe they could come out with it. However, it's just the stipulations on when they could come out with it. You're gonna be looked at as a James, can I say, as a sucker. You're gonna be looked at as a woman. Now, if you respond to their trauma in a way that they don't feel like you should be responding to it, but if a man come out and say his trauma, and that's why men not coming out with it because it's legal for you to say, you know what, that's I don't want to deal with that because I got my when woman say I got my own issues. So a man have to be able to deal. So it's like a man have to be able to deal with his issues and a woman issue. It's like a woman just like, look, you need to deal with your issues and help me deal with mine.
Well, that's unfair.
It's not fair. That's a what I like to call an understandable double standard.
I think women can be
I
more
agree.
considerate.
He said, you agree? Yeah, I think it's called
I
understandable double
agree. I
standard.
just feel like too, like when we come to a woman in those type of vulnerable states, um, first of all, we are 100% like letting our guard all the way down, and to even step to a woman like that, we would want her response to be like, okay, how can we work on this? But if a woman doesn't respond like that, then it just adds more to that wall, or just adds where not going to be as vulnerable. And I think the key thing in all this is just when you have to look at yourself, when you have to really be like, I am messed up. You know what I'm saying? And I think it starts right there, though.
Right. So I have an example. We got some women on the line. We got your sister on here for one. So we got some other women in the room with Shay. So I would like to say, like starting out, like I want to give an example. I don't just want to talk I don't just want to talk around it. So if a man come out, what I'm saying, a man come out and he meet this young lady and I say, look, I just got out of an abusive relationship. Um, I just got out of a abusive relationship. And you explained the details of how abusive this relationship was. This woman, what I'm saying, she talked to me in the kind of way she called me out my name. Nothing I can ever do was right. What I'm saying? I'm just a nobody to her. What I'm saying? Just so abusive. Then you tell a woman, you open up to a woman like as a man, I'm coming out of an abusive relationship. That woman sees it as you're just talking about the other woman. You're just down. You know what I'm saying? And the first thing a woman say, well, what did you do for her to be like that? Like it's just irrational for a woman to be abusive. Like men can't go through that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for all my women on there, so if a man come and tell you he just got out an abusive relationship, what is your response to that?
I think that we're realizing now that a lot of men are going through that. I think maybe a few years ago, we probably would not believe that. But I think we all probably know a guy that's dealing with some type of abuse in the relationship. But you could not have told me that 5 years ago. But today, yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
how would how on to him though? What would you suggest, or your steps to overcome dealing with it?
I feel like counseling. I feel like they need to go and talk to somebody. Me, honestly, if you're going through abuse in a relationship, I don't feel like you should be jumping into another relationship. I feel like you need to go deal with the situation at hand. Because, like Magic said, the new woman can feel like, oh, well, maybe you still in love with her, you talking about her and you bringing her up, but maybe he just need an outlet. He just needs to vent and talk about it.
And so
Because
now you say she don't think that she can be with a man that's coming out in an abusive relationship. Uh, Mr. Thomas say her heart would tell her to see how she could help. Um, so a man coming out of abusive, but a woman coming out of an abusive relationship, the picture totally different for men. The picture told, what I'm saying? We willing to take that on. We willing to take that on. We willing to take the kids on. We willing to take all of that on. Why is it so different for men? Why is it legal for men to take it on?
I
But
would say,
then,
I would
then you
say,
get
I would,
chose, huh?
I would say 50-50 because I mean, like, just like you said, it's some men willing to deal with a woman straight out of an abusive relationship, and I feel like it's some women that's willing to deal with a man that's coming out of abusive relationship. It just depends on the person.
Well, well, you're right. We can say some, we can say some, or we can say so. I want to say what it is. You know what I mean? Like I want to cause we got women on here. It's a woman on here said that she couldn't do it. She said she could not do it. She just posted it on it in chat. She couldn't do it. Now I hadn't
Yeah,
seen any men post that they couldn't do it.
why I would like to ask you, like, why, like, we come into it knowing that like 90% of the women out here now are gonna have kids. So you already accepting kids So wouldn't the woman be able to accept some of our you know what I'm saying, bad qualities?
I have to agree with your sister Naya said. Maybe a couple of years ago I would have took on that, but being in my 40s now, I'm not. I'm not taking on that. I just feel like I'm in a different place in my life. I'm not. You would have caught me when I was in my 30s, maybe yeah, but now in my 40s, no. Mm-mm.
Wow.
So that's why I said it depends
To
on
you,
the. What if he what?
steps to you that, you know, I got some issues, but I'm willing to work on it. And let's just say he good with everything else, financially, making sure you lovefully, and he just step to you and say, "Yo, baby, I gotta deal with these issues." Would that help the situation?
I'm gonna say, JT, it depends on what the issue is. Because let's just say you grew up in the house and you a man and your mom is the first woman that's supposed to show you love. I feel like a man loves a woman based off of how his mom loved him, right? So if one of your demons is you don't know how to treat a woman, or you hitting a woman or something like that, no. So I feel like it depends on what you're battling, because everybody's battling something. We all went through something in our childhood. So to me, it just depends on what it is that you're dealing with.
So, so, James, what, like, in your past, I ain't saying nothing in your future, something you may be dealing with now, or something you may have saw. What was one of the hold on, what what was one of the post traumatic what was one of the post traumatic things that you think that you ever brought into a relationship as a man?
Um, um, and with infidelity online and being this, I always bring that into a relationship.
You said you always brought infidelity into a relationship.
Yeah, it was. Felt like I was always like missing or needing something, and I guess most of my life I felt like I had to, you know what I mean, like win. So I would always felt like I needed one. I conquer something. So that infidelity. Then you know with infidelity, you gotta lie. You gotta be dishonest. Always like added that into our relationship all that.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, it's not good. I'm a firm believer. Black men don't cheat. You know, and people was so up and raw about that, like that's a lie. But you know what I'm saying. But would you want men to believe this ideology of black men don't cheat, or believe the ideology of all men cheat? I would choose to believe. I would want. I mean, in my opinion, I think you would want a black man to start to believe this idea that black men don't cheat. That should be on every T-shirt. That should be in every chant. That should be in everything. 'Cause it's the reprogramming of the mindset. We should hear that all the time. Black men don't cheat. Like, you tell yourself, hey, you are a great person. You look in the mirror and say, you are wonderful. You can do this. So why wouldn't we be saying black men don't cheat? But as soon as you say that like, why do our women get so offended when they hear that term, but black men don't cheat? And 9 out of 10, some of them they raising young black men right now.
I think a lot of women are just basing it off of what they've been through in a relationship. Like some women been hurt, so they don't believe in love anymore. But I don't feel like um, all men are cheaters. There are some good men out here.
Oh yeah. It's some great men. It's some great women out here. It's some great people out here. Uh, so but we talking but we got post traumatic stress, we got post traumatic this situation going on and everybody's in a post traumatic relationship. You in a post traumatic relationship so deeply that you can't even be with the person that you're with because you in a relationship with your hurt. You too busy being in
Hey,
love
that
and being
made me
focused on
think.
your hurt.
My bad.
Go ahead.
When you was talking about black men don't cheat, I just thought about like the examples coming up. Like just say you had an uncle that everybody Pierre's household, but on Friday through Sunday you didn't see him. You know he was doing his own thing, maybe had kids across town. Coming up, you yo, I want to be like uncle. I want to get
And
every
my
day, go to
story.
work, and then do my thing and still be able to come back to my family. I mean, so looking at that, I was just like, as long as I go to work and take care of my household, I can do what I want to do on the weekend.
I think a lot of men think like that. I think a lot of men think like that. Like, well, I'm taking care of my household, so I should be able to do what it is that I want to do.
Right. So now, women, this is what I want you to understand, women. Be careful of the monster you create. Because when you meet a man, the first stipulation for most men is, hey, what can you bring to the table? Are you going to pay these bills? Are you going to do that? Your first thing is not, most women first thing is not, they pretend like they first thing is I want a man of God. I want a man with the word. You know what I'm saying? I need a man with a vision, you know what I'm saying? But no, you want these bills paid. And when a man figure that out, look, I'm gonna figure out how to pay these bills and go and be what I want to be. You know what I'm saying? So be careful of the monster that you make. Yeah, be careful of the monster that you make. Be careful what you pray for. Be
So, are
careful
you
what you.
saying? So, are you saying that that's okay?
No, I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm just saying that hey, we get what we ask for. They tell you be careful what you pray for. They say it all the time. Be careful what you pray for. Hey, Dennis say we just became expert at taking pain. I believe that, Dennis. Uh, I believe that. Uh, however, getting back to what James said about infidelity, like that's like having an alcohol problem. That's like having a drug problem. Some men, we get addicted to women. We get addicted to the conquering. Like a lot of women thinking it's just about sex for men, and it's not really. It's about conquering. It's about, conquering new territory, conquering new land. It's about being you know what I'm saying? It's about being the king of the jungle. It's about being Tarzan. You know what I mean? So if we're not really into the women, that's why we can have the woman that we love. But you know what I'm saying? But a man that don't present himself with the right challenges every day, gonna find challenges in the wrong spot. So a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, a man can go out and and be with different women, but still love them. Okay, it's just about conquering. It's about the king of the jungle being the king of the jungle. Women, on the other hand, have a different need. That's why they look at cheating way different than this man. Cause when women have a need to be mentally and emotionally fed, and they think that's what we're getting when we're out doing what we do.
I have to disagree with that, Magic, because I feel like that's 10 years ago. I feel like women today can do the same thing a man doing. A woman today can go have sex with a man and not be mentally attached to him and not have no feelings for him. Maybe she just wanted to, you know, do what she wanted to do.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
that's a
think so.
theory that men came up with years ago. If we cheat, a man can cheat and we don't have no feelings. But if women cheat, that means you really like this man or you have feelings for this man. And that's not true.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the research, I say, hey, the research speak for itself. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie.
Well,
When
we
they
need
hook,
to well, we need to do a poll on this again. We got a whole new generation coming up out here.
hey man, who talking about I be looking like Stevie Wonder, man? who, who is that, man? What who is that? Panda?
Oh man.
Stevie Wonder. Hey man, I might need to be Stevie Wonder. I might really do need to be Stevie Wonder because you have to look over. Listen, you have to look over some stuff sometime. Um, but however, James, you gotta. Uh, now you weren't playing. You admit that. I need to put my glasses on. uh, James, you got a production, James. What's the name of it?
It's called You Are the Prize.
Kyle, you are the prize. You know what I'm saying? You see, James, I done went to my Stevie on him.
I see you. I
Uh,
see you. You got it down now.
yeah, there we go. It's called You Are the Prize, and it's a stage play.
So it's a play in Marietta on the Strand, June 24th.
Okay, so let's talk about You Are the Prize. Where did the title come from? First and foremost, that's what I want to know.
Man, it came from to be honest with you, mom always instilled like no matter what, no matter the situation, she always told me like coming up, you are the prize. So when I was just like, you are the prize. That's what my mom said. So I just went with that.
So, as a black man, your mama instilled in you that you are the prize.
Yeah, it's crazy because if I get in depth, came at the moment like my mom, she's a recovering addict. She's been clean like 24 years now. But in the midst of like her addiction, it's like that's when she would give me like, respect people, don't be rude, don't, what I'm saying, turn your back on people. And then out of nowhere, she would always say that. And I'd be like, why is this coming when you high or you getting high? But I always like carried it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Probably the vision was coming to her. So, did she say it to your sister too, or did she just say it to you?
Just like me and like a mom and son moment. Like
Right.
I remember her like actually getting and telling me that, and I was like,
Yeah.
I always thought it was like, saying, but it always stuck with me.
Right. And and salute your mom for that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what her troubles was, what her addiction was like, but let's just salute her for that because, regardless of what, see, for somebody to instill in you a sense of somebodyness is very important. And a lot of people don't have a sense of somebodyness. But like Shay said, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, things were different. Like we're in different times now. And men, and I'd like to say this all the time, men, we are the prize. And that's why I was asking you, did you tell your sister that? Because I want to just go on record. You're going to jail for saying that, right? You know what I'm saying? We are the pride. That's another thing that we don't supposed to be saying. Like black men don't cheat. We don't supposed to say that. We don't supposed to know as black men that we really are the prize. You know what I mean? Like, but we get brainwashing, and not saying that women are invaluable and they're not worthy and they're perfect, but you know what I'm saying? But for us to have a sense of somebody, then it's not wrong. If for us as black men to have this sense of this sense of somebody to go and say we are the prize, we should be able to legally say that to any woman in the world. We are the prize because we are. Because if you believe in us and we're able to provide what we're supposed to provide, is that not a prize?
Amen.
Is it not a prize? Huh?
100%.
All right. No, ma'am, I'm not from Memphis. I'm from Mobile, Alabama. So we are a prize. So this production, we are the prize. Are you specifically talking about men, or what are you talking about in this production when you say that?
In the production, it basically like it basically starts off as what goes on in this house stays in this house, and then it follows the main character later in her life, like dealing with those issues because she chose to keep the issues inside and speak on them.
Hmm. So who's the prize in the production?
It lets everybody. I think everybody know, no matter what you're going on or what you got going on in life. At the end of the day, you can overcome it, and you are the prize.
Okay, so the prize is everybody.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So the prize is everybody. So and this production is one that you written yourself.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how long have you been writing productions or producing production? How long have you been in this field?
This is actually my third stage play. Um, I started during the pandemic, and I just put a play together and just ran it by my family, and they told me that, hey, try to do something with that. So I went out, we put it on, and I just been doing it ever since.
And you was able to, so you got a large cast or a small cast? How many people in your cast?
At this point, I got 11 people. 11.
11 people. That's powerful, man. To be able to put 11 people together, and did that mean that you had to do rehearsals? You had to, like it's a whole lot go into putting a production together. Cause I'm part of that world. I'm a theater person myself. So the next production you do, I definitely will hopefully get a script in my hand to see if I want to audition for something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, hey,
Yeah, I
hey,
got
so
I got amazing people that I work with, and they all locked in. We trying to put out a good message, and it's just awesome. We do rehearsal twice a week, and we just ready now.
right, and you said, and you're going up June 24th.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. June 24th.
Okay, Shay, remind me of that, Shay. We're gonna try to get our group of people, our cast that we got, and we're gonna try to come out and we're gonna try to support you in numbers. We definitely gonna try to come out and support in numbers, man, because I'm definitely want this to see the show. And one of the reasons that you're on the podcast today, not just to promote the show, but even in your production, you are touching on the topic of post-traumatic relationships. So, without giving us what the play is, like what are some of these situations that you got in the production that touch on this post-traumatic stuff?
Um, it's just basically without giving it away. Let's just say it's something that we all have dealt with, and we all tend to, as a black culture, sweep it under the rug or not address it. And the person is screaming out to you like, yo, this happened to me, but we tending not to want to believe it because it's a family member or it's somebody that we're related to. So we make the victim feel like they're lying or they're not telling the truth. And then they grow up holding on to this and it affects them later in life.
Oh man, and it does. And it does. You know how many things that happen to us in our early development that affect us later in life? Even from the foods that we eat. Uh, uh, we got to be careful about everything that we intake, even the music that we listen to, um, even the shows that we watch. Um, I seen people look at reality shows, and for some reason, they want to have the same issues that these people have in the reality show. They want them issues in their house, so I guess, so they can feel relatable and they can have something to talk about. It just was mind-boggling to me of how we just ingest stuff. And not only are we ingest stuff, then things are really happening to us. Um, Dealing with sexual abuse. It's not just a female problem. That's a problem that goes both ways. Um, Men get manipulated into sex. Women get forced into sex. And because when women can get forced into sex, and men, in a sense, have to be manipulated into sex, they don't think it's a real thing because it's two different ways of getting about to it. But but the manipulation of it, and when women get manipulated into sex too, all the time. But for when it happens on the other side of the scale, like I said, I only can really speak from the male perspective because that's all I've been my whole life, and that's all I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna go through. I'm not gonna go through any changes.
I think
I'm
we
not
look
gonna.
down on that with men. It's like women, we try to sympathize, but when it happens to men, I guess we don't really look at it, that serious when a man has been sexually assaulted.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Cause we get grabbed on and we get groped. We get, but we told, like, you know what I'm saying. But we supposed to like it though. That's the difference.
I've heard some stories about babysitters, doing stuff to young men, you
Right.
know.
And if you have a nice looking babysitter as a young man, our men, they gonna fantasize about knocking off the babysitter. You know what I'm saying? I don't know too many young men that have a nice looking teacher that hadn't fantasized about knocking off their teacher. So, because men are physical and we vivid, we visual, it's easier to manipulate a man into a situation, and especially an immature mind. So, so it happens. So now we're dealing with immaturity. Trauma happens. Trauma happens at an early age. Sometimes your maturity level don't leave that point. Wherever that severe trauma happened to you at, you stuck there. But your body keep growing, you keep growing, everything growing, but your maturity level, your mental capacity. Then we get into relationships and we try to be grown. This is the problem.
Agree.
This is the problem, and we don't come from a culture of getting help or talking it through because we so busy our culture. See, we so traumatic in our culture because we so concerned about what people think about us. The moment you say I need some help, they say, "Oh, you crazy." We don't want to be labeled as crazy because we too concerned about what people think about you. But the main people you worrying about thinking about you, not the people that's helping you, but we worrying about what they think.
Agree. And then especially for men, especially for men. Women can they got all kind of stuff on Facebook, support groups, all these groups for women, but men like it's men out there that wanna ask for help or wanna say, yo, I need to speak about something. But like you said, it's like the moment we say, hey, I want to talk about this, you look at or you talked about, and then you just like stuck to try to figure it out by yourself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We definitely. Um, I try to keep these conversations from being a male and female thing, but when you're talking about relationships, and especially you're talking about romantic relationship, you usually talking about male and females. Usually. In these day and time, I say about 90% of the time you're talking about male and female. And that's why I love having a female counterpart because when it gets, because I don't never want to be in a situation where it seems like I'm just all about my side of the fence. But that's the side of the fence that you can speak most confident about. Like when she can speak about her side of the fence, and that's why I like having that other voice. So, but for men, like for men, and trying to help men be more manly and more confident in their vulnerabilities, and letting a woman know that, look, this hurt. You hurt my feelings. You know what I mean? Like, we get our feelings hurt all the time. We have to suck it up and go to work. We get our feeling hurt all the time. You know what I'm saying? We gotta suck it up and still provide. You know what I'm saying? We get our feeling hurt all the time. We gotta suck it up and make sure you straight. But when we crack though, see, now we get stepped on. Because now, you know what I'm saying? Now when we get to breaking down, we get stepped on. Or now that we done been, our feelings been hurt so much, now we make a bad decision, but we don't get a pass. But if you keep stepping on a woman, you keep hurting a woman's feelings, and she go and make a bad decision, everybody want to know, well, what did you do to her?
Yeah,
Because I know a woman just ain't gonna go to do this. A woman just ain't gonna do this. A woman just ain't gonna say that without having a reason to do it.
I think it depends on the age because me a couple of years ago, if a man tell me he's getting a divorce, I would have said, "What did you do?" But this day and time, it's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to feel like, based off my friends and stuff, like, dang, they can't find a good man. You know what I'm saying? But it's actually men out here that can't find a good woman either.
All right. You know,
true.
but is that the case? You know what I'm saying? But is that the case, or is the good woman that's for you is just the good man for you, just not in the financial position you want the man to be in? It's the good woman out there for you, just don't look the way you want her to look. Like, you know what I'm saying? How shallow are you? Don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that it's hard to find. I just think we just so shallow. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got to deepen our waters. That's me and my like, cause most of the time, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, most women they looking for, you know what I'm saying? They looking for a good looking man that's a high earner.
That's the thing. You're not gonna get the full package. You're not gonna get the full package. Women, we make up this man in our mind. We want the good looking man. We want the man to make the money. We want the man that can lay it down in the bedroom. Like we want all that. He does not exist. Something's gonna be wrong. Either he doesn't look good, he got a good job and can provide for you, or he looked good and he broke. Like you're not gonna get the full package. This is not gonna happen.
Both ways. It's not gonna happen. No,
It's not
men,
gonna happen.
yeah, men looking for this, you know what I'm saying? This, like you know what I'm saying? You looking for this creature. You're looking for this, we out here looking for this creature. Uh, you know, we
Men be going off of looks and I don't know if we can cuss on here, but the butt, the shape,
yeah,
all
yeah,
of
they
that.
right.
And a lot of those women be really real like cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they be crazy.
They really nuts. And so, but what God may have for you just may not show up in the package that you wanted it to be in.
Mm-hmm.
So so I don't believe that, you know what I'm saying, a good man or a good woman is hard to find. You know what I'm saying? And we got this fear of settling. Oh, I ain't gonna settle. But that's why they call it settling down. You know what I mean? Cause you settling. Now there's no way around the word. You know what I mean? And like you said, you gonna have to settle for what God got for you. That's why they call it settling down. So this idea of I'm not gonna settle is just crazy to me. That's oxymoronic. We're gonna settle down, or we're gonna settle at some point. Even boiling water settles. Even the ocean settles. Everything settles. We're gonna have to settle. We're gonna have to make peace with that. Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna have.
I just think too it comes with that maturity. Yes, age because running the streets and a lot of things I used to do, it's not attractive to me anymore. So I think it just comes with age and maturity. As speaking on down.
I agree with that.
Hmm. So, you know, because of we come with this traumatic trauma that we coming with. The longer you live, the more traumatic trauma is a possibility that you're gonna bring into any relationship. I'm all for being the prize. I'm all for anybody, male or female, feeling like you are the prize. You should feel that way about yourself. You should, like Cat Williams said, self-esteem is the esteem of yourself. Um, you should feel like you are the prize. But we got to normalize. We definitely have to normalize speaking to others' insecurities. When they insecurities get to shouting, you got to find a way. You got to see. Sometimes it's not about communicating with the person. It's about communicating with the insecurity. You know what I mean? So we got to quit looking at the person. You know what I'm saying, so what is it about this insecurity? Because if you see, that's where past experiences can help you at some time. Because you may have had the same insecurity at one point in your life. And if you have had this insecurity, you know what I'm saying, now you got a first-hand view on how to speak to this individual insecurity and quit speaking at the person, you know what I'm saying, and deal with the insecurity. So, you know what I'm saying, so I would like us to get to a point where we can normalize speaking to each other's insecurities. Now, and people say, oh, that ain't my job to do it, but you do it for your children. If you got kids, you do it for your children. You know what I'm saying? If you got a brother or sister, you do it for them. You got a mama or daddy, you do it for them. You got a cousin you love, you do it for them. But you can't do it for a person that you say that you love. You can't find a way to speak to their insecurities.
Yeah.
That's deep right
You
there. I
feel?
like that. I like that.
Yeah, because we do it, but so everything that it's in us to do anyway. We've been doing it. We just don't practice it because of stipulations and expectations that were set by a society that didn't even have our success in mind when they set these standards. Uh, Everything that society got to set, it go against our cultural boundaries. You know what I'm saying? They teaching us we don't need each other. We don't need no man, and we don't need no woman. It says who? Well, but why do we have a desire to be with each other then if we don't need each other? Like, you know what I'm saying? So you can't get tricked off the streets around here, and that's what I want to help do is help us not get tricked off the out of our relationships because we got scars on us. We got post traumatic stress. We got post traumatic scars. We got all this stuff. We got hurt. But we, I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Well, we got yesterday's hurt interfering with today's healing. We got to get past that point. We definitely
I,
got to get past that point.
I
Hey,
think that I
if you
think our
could,
generation.
go ahead, sir.
I think our generation, like James said, we was made to be quiet, hold a lot in, and I think today, like, I'm not gonna say we do that to our household. Like when it came to my kids, I would tell them, your grandma asking you questions about what's going on up in here. You know what I'm saying? You say ask my mama or I don't know. But I also feel like our generation broke a lot of generational curses because we not raising our kids the way our parents raised us. So I don't
Right,
feel like we putting that burden on our kids the way the burden was put on us back in the day.
right, right. Right, and we are, and I agree with that totally. We definitely not. So some things that we doing better. A lot of things. If I had to put it on a scale, I'd say 70% of the things that the way we involve with our children now, we doing way better than what was before, and that's the direction it's supposed to be going. But that 20 to 30%, oh boy, we tearing that up. We're not, we're not honest, and we're going back. We said we're not honest in a relationship. We're not honest in no relationship. I joke all the time, and I do comedy sometimes, James. So I do stand ups sometimes. But a lot of time when I'm telling jokes, I'm not really joking because some of us we have what I like to call unfavorable children. You know, because there are some unfavorable people in the world. It's some people in this world that you just find unattractive. Some of them people are our kids. Um, so instead of telling them what it is, you know what I'm saying? Hey, now, baby, you may be beautiful to mama, but that ain't the way everybody else see. You know,
Yeah,
you know, son, you might be beautiful to mama. You know what I'm saying? You okay with her, but that ain't what everybody else see. So you're gonna have to work a little harder. You're gonna have to smell a little better. Um, You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to find a way to make yourself, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to find a way to compete in this world. And for you to have, you know what I'm saying, your daughter 10 years old and 230 pounds, and you telling her that, that she can go and do the things that, it just not, you got to be honest at some point. You got to be honest, and people don't have the ability to be honest. See, back then they had the ability to be brutally honest, and they'll tell you about yourself. Now some of these people, and if you have some in your life today, still, that's a blessing, cause they gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you, boy, your breath stink. That toothpaste you're using ain't
exactly.
working. You need to get you some baking soda. You know, you, we don't do that no more. We don't do that no more. So you know what I'm saying, to be brutally honest. So now I'm going through this because I want to ask the question because I ask it all the time, and I ain't gonna use children. But could you date an unfavorable looking person? If this the person God sent to you and they unfavorable, they overweight, they not the best looking person in the world, but they know how to speak to all your insecurities. They like, but they fit like, could you date a person that's unfavorable to you?
I think so because I feel like when you become a certain age, you look past the looks. It ain't even about the looks no more. You know what I'm saying? It's about, is this person fulfilling my needs? Are they making me happy? I think you get past the looks. I think that's
Um,
something when you're young, you looking for, that nice looking guy and, you know, all of that.
right, because this is the root. I think this is one of the roots of toxic insecurities. I think is one of the, I think is one of the roots of the problem that we're having in relationships. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this person may love you, but they just don't look. You're just not physically attracted to them in a way. You know what I'm saying? Um, and you feel like you're trapped in a relationship because you got with this person because they fit the bill for the time, but you can't afford to leave them.
Yeah, on that. It's like when you get a little older, you know what I'm saying? Like, looks kind of gonna be like your number one thing. You want somebody that's gonna be relatable to you, understanding you, and you can. I think you can better deal with as you get older.
Now, I think women can deal with the looks a little bit better than men. Yeah, I will give a woman that nod. You know what I'm saying? But uh, you rarely see a man that's a high earner with a woman that weigh more than him.
That's because he wants some. He want eye candy because he feel like he got the money. You know what I'm saying? He just wants some eye candy. That's all that is. I mean, you got a lot of people like that. Some being like eye candy. Some women like pretty boys. I don't like
Mm,
pretty boys.
right.
That's just eye candy right there, Magic. That's all it is right there.
That is eye candy. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You
That's just
ra-
eye candy.
and you rarely see it. You know what I'm saying? So, but you can see a successful woman with with Mr. McElroy with 1,000 keys on his belt loop. You know what I'm
Somebody
saying?
say
He
I
got
can't go money.
Definitely.
yeah, probably so. Yeah, it probably. Hey, they gonna spend it all. Hey, hey man, you only as good to your last dollar, and then they out. Um, hey, but the expectation of money, this expectation, hey, like, and I like that title. You are the prize. Like, you have to understand that you are the prize. It's you, not the title you hold, not the money you got. It's you. You have to believe in you. You are the prize. Now, when you present everything else besides yourself, you're gonna get used for that, and that's gonna create a whole nother insecurity when you present everything but yourself. When you go on a date, let's talk about dating. Let's talk about how should you date? Like, what question should you ask at a date? Cause most people ask the same basic question: what do you do? What you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that's a red flag for me. Because in any conversation, whether I'm on a date or at a business table or whatever, the moment you ask me what do I do for a living, see, I understand you trying to size me up to see how much respect you're gonna give me.
Magic. They trying to make sure you're not a drug dealer.
Well, just ask me, am I a drug dealer?
They're just trying to make sure you're not a drug dealer. That's all.
Right,
I
so
think that's one of the first questions women ask.
Crazy.
Like, what do you do for a living? Like, I think that's normal. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
I see everything wrong with it. I don't
Because as
think
a
that. I think
woman,
that's a Yeah. I think that's a question that should be off limits in the first time you meeting a person.
see, and I disagree with that.
What does it matter what they do? We ain't going home together. No. Well, what does it matter what they do?
Are we dating or are we talking?
I'm telling you, getting to know each other. Like, you getting to know each other. Get to know me, not what I do.
So I'm asking you, saying through the talking stage, because I found out through the new generation, talking and dating is two different things. When I was coming up, talking and dating was the same thing.
Hey, I think Naya said she totally disagree with me. I think the question should be off the table, Naya. I'm sorry.
I don't think so.
I'm sorry, Naya. I'm sorry that's your sister Jane, but I got to go again.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But when you feel like they should ask for the early stage,
You know, when you're talking about ambition, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you're having an ambitious conversation, you know, if the conversation turn towards ambition, you know what I mean? Like it's not about what a person doing, but what are their ambitions, what are their goals, what are their dreams, what you know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying? You know, what kind of life you really want for yourself. You know what I mean? So that tells you when a person talk about that, that tells you what kind of work or what kind of effort they're willing to put into life, not just you or for you as a spouse. Like what contribution are you trying to make to the world?
See, I disagree with you, Magic, because a man could take a woman on a date to an expensive restaurant and paying for this, and this, and she's seeing all of this up front. She still want to ask the question like, "What do you do?" Like she wants to know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel saying that you should go a little bit more in depth. Like start off the conversation with for a living. You ask what his goals, dreams. He, he might tell you,
Right. Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
I agree with what y'all saying. I don't feel like that should be the first question, but I definitely feel like it needs to be asked.
Right. So if you go on a date with a man, he say, "Hey, what's your address? Where you live at?" You like, wait, hold on. What you mean?
Listen, boss man, you cannot use that as that is not the same example. No.
All
Mm-mm.
right. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it is. Thought you say, well, what you do for a living? Where do you ask you what you do? Where you work? Okay, well, you know where to find me at then.
But that's the thing. Women don't mind telling men what they do for a living, where they work. No, they don't mind telling.
Yeah, yeah. Until we go postal. See?
so we show up.
Yeah, till we show up. And then you get time. Then you get the one. Oh now, oh now, oh now, oh now. All of a sudden he's sending me flowers to my job. Now your husband find out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what I'm saying? You know, and that's another thing, you know, man, people think it legal to have work husbands and work boyfriends and work wives and work girlfriends. Now, I don't know when this became legal in our culture, but you know what I'm saying? But majority of men and women go to work today. If they're a school teacher, they work in an office building, they got a work husband and a work boyfriend or a work wife or a work girlfriend.
You said they do?
They do.
Hmm.
More, uh,
And when did this become acceptable?
I mean, I work by myself, so I don't know anything about the work husband and the work wives and, all of that. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
work well with others, so
Right. So how many friends you have that say, you know, oh, I was
I've
on the phone with my work husband
I've
today.
never heard one of my friends ever say that. Honestly, I've never heard one of my friends say that.
Oh, really?
I have never, boss, ever.
James, have you ever heard somebody to refer to their work husband or work girlfriend or their work wife or work boyfriend?
oh yeah. No, this my work husband for sure.
I need to check
That
into
means more
that.
of a women thing. I don't say
Oh man, and this the thing, man. Like, listen, he talking about the work husband with gay. Oh my God, I don't trust gay men with my woman. I'm gonna tell you right there. I don't. I'm not buying that. I'm from Mobile, Alabama.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. A lot of women like to hang around gay men.
You're
They
right.
make good friends.
Like I said, it's an understandable double standard. That's another understandable double standard right there, right? Because look, that's another understandable double standard right there. So now, look, me as a man, me as a heterosexual male, and I say, look, you know what I'm saying? This my work wife. She gay.
Oh yeah,
Women,
that's
they not buying it.
oh yeah, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem.
They're not buying it. They're not buying it at all. You cannot have a man cannot have a gay work wife
What did
and
you
have
just
a
say? This is my coworker. That's like that's like a totally different topic. Talking about having male friends and female friends, because a lot of times it's not accepted in relationships. It causes a problem.
it's about she the stud. It's talking about she the stud. Oh man, these folks here wild,
You
man.
asking the question: is she the stud or is she the woman?
I don't know. I just know she gay. I didn't know. Look, but but men can't have a gay work wife. That's just a smoke signal. They gonna say they not buying that. So why as men should we buy that you got a gay work husband? And he gay. He really like she say he's really gay and nice.
I
I
mean,
don't
I get
know.
what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? And 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 with me being in the theater and me coming and not saying that this what just goes on in the theater, but with me being having a theatrical background, I have a lot of compadres that have chose an alternate lifestyle. And we the best friend. They cool. I don't go hang out with them at their spots. They don't hang out with me at my spots. You know what I'm saying? But I respect their decision and they respect mine. So I got the utmost respect. Period. But being in these circles and being amongst these individuals, they'll tell me all the time, "Hey, look, yeah, I like what I like, but sometimes I like me a woman sometimes too. Still,
So they bisexual.
yeah, they say that they one way, but you know what I'm saying, and they have friends that have husbands that that let their guard down, take their eyes off, and every now and then, you know what I'm saying, they get a little tune up.
I
Yeah,
cannot.
yeah, every now and then they get a little tune up. They get the oil change. Um, but it happens. So I don't, you know what I mean. So now that may be one of my post traumatic things that I found out about that, you know what I mean, that won't allow me to buy into that. But I don't believe you should be having a work husband or work. I think that goes against the sanctity of your marriage anyway, and especially if you're getting into a relationship, especially if you're married. Like, and if you're talking to one of your coworkers all day, y'all texting each other, you're on the phone for 3-4 hours out the day.
You saying the opposite sex?
Yeah, the opposite
Okay.
sex. Yeah, you're cheating. You're cheating.
So you saying if you married or you in a relationship, you have a problem with your woman having male friends?
No,
Even if you,
I don't have a problem with her having male friends, but like, but if you are saying now, it's a the difference in how they present the person to you. Cause they present the person to you, that person come hang. If that's your opposite, if I'm married and my wife got a male friend, and you like, hey, and y'all kicking it like that, he should be able to kick it with me the same way. You know what I mean?
I
Like, because
agree with that.
you accept, hey man, cause I accept whatever come with my wife. That's why I married her.
I agree with that.
So you ain't got to hide no relationship. That's your buddy. That's your buddy. Now I can understand if you're talking to 3-4 hours out the day on the phone now, because I may call you, you call me, be like, hey man, I was talking to your wife today, man. She wood 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 whatever. Boom boom. Ain't nothing hiding in the relationship. Hey, you come over to the house, boom. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you kick it with me and her. You know what? It's cool. You go. You know, it's cool. It's because it ain't number two kind of people in this world, man and woman. So I can't expect you to have all female friends, like you can't expect me to have all male friends. That's not gonna happen. But now, if you got a work husband or a person you just only talk to at work and on time, you know, and y'all talking 3-4 hours out the day, and when you get home at 5 o'clock, y'all don't talk no more. I don't hear nothing about this person. That's something different.
So do you feel like men and women can be friends without actually sleeping together?
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of people don't think that's possible. I go through that a lot. But like male friends I have, people actually say, "Oh, she messing with him," and stuff like that. So I wanted to ask you, what about you, JT? Do you think that's possible that women, because we have this saying, "Oh, if she called him brother, then they had something going on."
Sis, I done been accused of, I got sisters that's not my blood sister, but they my sisters. You can't tell me they not my sisters. If you don't accept them as my sister, like you don't got no love for me, cause I love these women. They my sisters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Just cause, my mama didn't have them, doesn't mean they ain't my sister. They have done the necessary things to earn my trust as a brother, and they done done the necessary, and I done the necessary things to earn their trust, or they whatever, vice versa. We done these necessary things. So I'm not finna, So yes, I believe. Listen, I'm not gonna say what you know what I mean. Like if I do it, cool. You do it, cool. As long as it's real. Uh, the Darlene saying that she her husband, side chick, work wife, and everything.
Okay.
She said she everything, and that's what you should be. However, I'm just not buying it. If you can't present it to me like any relationship I got with any woman outside of my wife, I ain't have no problem presenting it to her. This who this person is. This what they phone number is. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, come be a part of. You know what I'm saying? We family. Come be a part of this. Don't distance yourself from them because you got some insecurities or
And I
want
think
me.
it depends on the individual too, because it's like, I mean, there are some men out here that, have a problem with they woman having male friends. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it just depends on the individual.
Yeah, it goes both ways, totally.
Yeah.
Like, I was just speaking from the male perspective, but it goes both ways. Like, hey, look, if that's your wife's brother, she said that's her brother, you know what I'm saying? It'll be in your best interest to get to know the fella.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It'll be you know what I'm saying? It'll be in your best interest to line up, be on the same team as him. Because you know what I'm saying, obviously, if she's presenting him like that, that means that she don't plan on him going nowhere. He's been a staple in her life. You know what I'm saying? She have, you know what I'm saying? And maybe he got some valuable information that can help you manage your relationship with this woman. Cause you know what I'm saying? Cause he may have seen her through some dark times. He may have been there in such a situation where he can help you know what I'm saying, be a better man for her.
So let me ask
'Cause-
you this. Would you have a problem if you got married to a woman and that guy friend and her had a thing 10 years ago? Would you have a problem with them still being friends?
Yeah, now that's not, now we talking about the sanctity of marriage. Now you talking about some toxic. See, then we talking about bringing in this post traumatic toxic stuff into a different relationship. That
But it's not
relationship,
like that with them no more. I'm just
yeah,
asking the question. It's
well,
not like that with them no more, but they remain really good friends. Maybe they was good friends through kids, college, whatever.
right, right, and they
So
gonna have to come.
you think it's a problem and it needs to be cut off.
I don't think it's a problem. I just think it's a decision that has to get made because like depending on how the other individual, whether it's male or woman, they come in contact with that, how they want to size it up. Because if they spider senses go off, like now if they spider senses go off about everybody you bring around, You know what I mean? Now you're dealing with somebody that got some scars that you can't do nothing with. But if it's just this one particular thing and this one particular person, you know what I mean? And for me, I can't see, saying this is my friend. That person, and we may have a friendship. And if that person understand our friendship and understand who I am as a man, and I'm moving forward with this woman, and we have had an intimate time together, I cannot put you in the face of my wife. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm like, look, yeah, we used to kick it, whatever, and you know what I'm saying, so that over, that's like an ex.
Yeah.
So, and it is an X. You know what I mean? I can't say so. An X got to get X'd out when you're moving forward. So that's why it's an X. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's just a pure friend and no boundaries ever been crossed, I can put you in the presence of my wife.
Yeah.
And I will hope that whoever I'm marrying have the same respect for me.
Yeah. So you saying even if this was something that happened with them in middle school and they remained friends all these years, that your wife should
Well,
cut
if
it.
it happened in middle school, like that ain't even nothing like, hey, look, you should, like that and that you really should bring up. Now, if you bring it up, that says a lot
Mm-hmm.
for you to even think about it. I can't remember. Like, that's like me talking about a girl named Carla. You know what I mean? That's gonna, you know what I mean? Why would I create another toxic situation in my present relationship? Why would I, you know what I'm saying? And I may be dealing with a woman that's battling with insecurities anyway. You may be dealing with a man that's battling with insecurities anyway. You know what I'm saying? So something like happened 20, 30 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's just a childhood friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you get beyond high school, college, yeah, you know what I mean? Because you were just exploring. Okay, so when, I can deal with the explore stage of life. But then to get the point where you knew what you were doing, you knew what you wanted. And you saying this person a friend now, yeah, they may be a friend, but as a friend, they will understand because I have had friends that I done been in situations with and they got married. You know what I'm saying? Hey, do I still call them? No. Do I still try to contact them? No. Do I speak to them on Facebook? No. Do I speak to them on social media? Period? No. Because as a friend, I respect what they have built. So that don't mean we're not friends. That just mean that we just have to respect certain boundaries now.
Yeah.
But no, you shouldn't be parading me in front of your husband. And I know what you look like naked. I know what, you know what I'm saying? I know what you feel like. I know what you sound like. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? And whoever got the idea of doing that, they got to check themselves. Now I don't think
Okay.
that's the thing to do, huh?
Oh yeah. Um.
Not at all. I don't think that's the thing to do. What,
So let me
Ruthie?
ask
What
you
you
this.
say?
I don't know what happened to JT.
Yeah, he had a bad connection. He said thank you for having him on. So he had a bad connection.
I think he was in the I think he was in the car. So if a young man was not properly loved by his mother, right? Do you
Hmm.
think he can properly love a woman?
Eventually,
What do you mean?
because love is something that's innate. That's something that that the Almighty put in us. It's a desire to be loved. It's a desire to give love. That's just something that we just do as human beings. That's something we do as creatures. That's something we do as animals.
Uh,
Um, and so, but how to love properly, right? Um,
what do you think that starts from? Where did to love somebody properly? Where do you learn that from? What does that? Where does that come from?
it
Do you
comes
think
from a
it starts with
pureness.
the mom and the dad when you're growing up, or what do you think that stems from?
It comes from pureness. Not just the mom and the dad, but I think that's a great starting place. I think that's the centerfold. I think that's the starting blocks. But just understanding and being able to, expression. How do you express yourself? It's just expression. Love is an expression. But
But you don't think a lot of young men feel like, let's just say, um, you know, they mom wasn't a good mom, or she was on drugs, or she didn't have time for them, whatever the case may be. They never felt that love. I know you heard this saying like a young man, the first woman he loves is his mother, and then the first person a young lady loves is her dad. You know, like if you treat your daughter like a princess and have that good relationship with your daughter, then she'll look for that in a man, and vice versa. Like with my son, um, when he went to Alabama to see his girlfriend in college for her birthday, I told him, well, make sure you take her some flowers, make sure you got her a gift, make sure you this. Because I feel like my job is to teach my son, how to treat a woman. My job, I feel like with my daughter, is to teach her how to be a good wife for her husband, cook, clean, do the things that she's supposed to do. I feel like a lot of young men, especially like in our generation, um, they didn't have that, so they don't know how to treat a woman. It shouldn't be normal for a man to think calling a woman a bitch is normal, But maybe his mama was calling him that when he was young, so he think it's normal for him to call a young lady that. Maybe he saw his mom get beat on all the time, so he think it's normal to beat women because he saw his mom get beat. So I'm asking, do you think? Because I think James said something about we had to hold in family secrets, and we couldn't talk about a lot of stuff in the household. So I'm asking, do you think this stems from you actually being a child, uh, as
with the
far as a
mom,
man treating a woman and a woman treating a man?
with the mom thing or the dad thing, like I said, I just think it's something that's just innate. You can't, I think the first thing we have to teach our children, if they're gonna be in any successful relationship, whether it's at work or with somebody else, is having unconditional love for themselves. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, so if you don't even love yourself unconditionally, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how to give that till you can understand giving it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be able to forgive other people till you learn how to forgive yourself. So understanding that, so now going through the motions of now you can teach a person how to be a player.
Mm-hmm.
Now you make sure you give her flowers, you make sure you give her candy, you make sure you compliment her, you make sure you tell her how good she look. You make sure you tell her that she's appreciated and what not. But doing that's just the shell of things to me. So, but actually appreciating someone,
Mm-hmm.
actually, loving them enough to forgive them when they make a mistake. Actually, you know what I mean? Like, actually, you know what I'm saying, showing up because you don't feel like it's your duty. It's something that you want to do. You
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, like I would tell any young lady, hey, you can say, hey, you need to cook for your man, you need to clean for your man. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's good. But, but like this is something you got to want to, like, you know what I mean? You got to find, you know what I'm saying? It got to do something for your spirit to do that for them. Like you have to want to do that, you know what I mean? But just going through the motions of doing it, it just create bitterness. Telling a person to do it just because you know what I'm saying, just you know what I'm saying, just going through the motion of it, it create bitterness. So understand that unconditional. Understand having an unconditional love for yourself, having an unconditional respect for yourself, having these unconditional things for yourself will allow you to be unconditional with other people. And you won't have to tell them what to do. You won't have to tell her what to do because if they have this unconditional thing with inside of them, you see all their instincts are do that regardless. You know what I mean? Like you learn a person. I tell the people, you know what I'm saying, hey, and people, I hear women and men alike say, I know I'm a good wife. I know I'm a good husband, but they not married. But they say they know they're a good wife, know they're a good husband. Okay, well, by your standard, but you may be a good wife, but do you know how to be my wife? See, That's the thing now. As long as you by yourself, you can be a good wife. But when you get with me, but can you be my? But can you be a good wife to me? Are you gonna make the necessary adjustments it's gonna take to be my wife? Am I gonna be able to make the necessary adjustments that it's gonna take to be your husband? Cause we different now. Just on this bland scale of things, I'm a good wife and doing things. Yeah, just go through the motions. But for me, it's unconditional with yourself. You learn to love yourself unconditionally, and you learn to respect yourself unconditional. You'll be able to pass that on.
Yeah. Do you think we make a lot of excuses for people's insecurities and flaws? Like maybe like, oh, such and such, he's not a good daddy because he didn't have a daddy in his life.
Oh
Do
yeah,
you think we just making up excuses because you would think if he didn't have a daddy in his life, he would want to be, you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
A great father to his kids. Because you don't want your kids to go through what you went through. So do you think a lot of times we make excuses for them by saying, oh, well, he didn't have a father figure in his life, when he was coming up?
Yeah, we make excuses because we make excuses for ourselves. That's why I'm saying go back to self. Cause yeah, we're gonna make excuses for them because we want to get them an excuse because we need an excuse.
Hmm.
That's why we make excuses for them because we need an excuse because so somewhere we lacking and we want somebody to give us the same grace. We want somebody to give us the same excuse.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But holding yourself accountable. When you hold yourself accountable all the time, you have no problem holding other people accountable all the time.
Do you think holding yourself accountable is a lot of, well, it's like the main reason why Black people don't go seek counseling because we don't want to be told about ourselves?
Well, we don't want to be looked at as crazy. Like and for our culture, we don't want to be looked at as crazy. We don't want to be looked at as, the person that had to go get help. You know what I mean? Cause our social status. You know what I'm saying? If you go see a psychiatrist or shrink, you must be a dingbat. You're a nut. Well, get what? You're gonna be a nut whether you go see one or not. So your best bet is to go see one. You
Yeah.
know, but yeah, because we so concerned about what the people gonna say. We concerned about how it look, not what it is. Like our culture more concerned about how it look and not about what it is.
Mm.
So
I actually think counseling is good. I actually feel like everybody in our generation needs to go and have some counseling classes. I feel like we hold a lot in. Like I'm not an emotional person. Like now you can tell you that I'm not emotional at all. Like you know, I'm not a crier. I don't cry like that. I pretty much hold a lot of stuff in, and I'm learning how to let those things out and not hold everything in. Deal with the situation at hand.
all right,
That was a hard thing for me.
hey, um, I'm one of the emotional person myself, or sometimes you born a certain way too. You born a certain way. Like some people born givers, they are born lovers, they are born killers, they are they're born and like people born a certain way. So to say that I think that being a product of your environment is a real thing. I think being an exception to your environment is a real thing. Some people are born to be a product of their environment. Some people are born to be an exception to their in their environment. So some people just gonna make it out. So you have people come from different backgrounds, single parents, and they make great parents. You have people come from two-parent households, and they got terrible parenting skills. And just cause you got two parents in the household doesn't mean they saw the right things in that household either.
Yeah,
Um,
you can have a two-parent household and still feel like you didn't have a two-parent household.
Yeah. They see things and they, what I'm saying, they see the struggle of life. A lot of people that come from two-parent household do not want to get married.
Yeah.
They don't want, what I'm saying, they seen mom and dad is stressed over so much stuff, they don't want none of that smoke.
Oh yeah.
So, but I believe in the sanctity of marriage though. I do. I believe that marriage strengthens and builds the community. I believe it strengthens education. I believe it helps black dollars continue to rotate where they're supposed to rotate. Um, I do believe in the sanctity of marriage. Uh, uh, Not over, but I don't believe in it over um, having a healthy relationship with yourself. So we definitely got to get to where we point where you have a relationship with yourself. I used to do a program where I did a production. It was called Self Proposal,
Mhm.
and it was where that before you even could marry yourself, you had to propose to yourself. And getting people to propose to themselves was a funny thing because and that's when people started to realize that the expectation they have for other people and that they don't even have for themselves. So you ask a person to propose to themselves, and and what would you say to yourself? How would you propose to yourself? What would you give yourself when you proposing to yourself? And people they get blank. And some they don't even, they start to stumbling over words. Oh, well, I would say, but you have this idea of what another person should say or do when they propose to you. And you don't even have the words and, or the junction to even propose to yourself. I say, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are you going to get proposed to? What would you look for? You have never proposed to yourself. You never proposed to yourself. You never made a commitment to yourself to be righteous with yourself. You never asked yourself to be, one with you. You never even asked yourself that. And what would you say to yourself if you had to propose to yourself? What would you say to yourself? The average person, they stuck right here.
Yeah.
They not finna say nothing. They don't know what they would say to themselves. You know what I'm saying? But you want somebody else to have all this belief in this magical words and stuff when they gonna propose to you. You hadn't even presented these things to yourself. So use common sense. That letting you know you couldn't have presented them to nobody else.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Mhm.
I hate to be too real.
I love it.
I hate to be too
You
real.
know
I
you
hate
can.
them. Huh?
You know you can go real. Get deep off in the conversation, Jit.
Hey, I will, man. But I hate to be too real sometimes, man, because like, and that's what I want to do on the show one day, man. I want to definitely, I want to go through the motion of self-proposal. I think I want to do a contest. I think I want to give away $200 to anybody that can come on the platform and get a best self-proposal to themselves. So let's do a self-proposal contest. Let's put that together. How you feel about that?
You can do that.
Hey, self-proposal, you know what I mean? Cause like what would you say to yourself? What would you give yourself? Would you give yourself a car? Would you give yourself a ring? Would you give yourself a bottle of water? What would you propose to yourself with? What you gonna hold yourself accountable to?
Right.
Yeah. So what you think about that?
I love it.
For sure. We're gonna have to do that for real.
Oh yeah.
A self-proposal. So I wanna do something today that 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 I used to do. Or when I get ready to end the shows, I like to, on Love Deposit Wednesdays. I'm gonna start. I want to start bringing it back today. That we started to analyze the lyrics of certain songs, old school songs. Analyze the lyrics and let's see what these people used to say. Like this song right here.
Well, I couldn't resist the urge to tell you the end of my story. For all of those who wanted to know, was there life after the pain? After the pain, you come and love me, and I welcome you. You're a glad sight to see.
You remember this?
And after the rain,
You know you 10 years older than me.
and all that I have been
That's good.
through,
Listen to this. still can't explain how I can still love you like I do, but I do, yes I do, still love you. Hey, she said after the pain, I still can't explain why I still love you like I do, but I do.
Maybe she's in love with the memories.
She said after the pain, I still can't explain.
I think we all done been there before.
Hey man, after the pain. See, I read something today say you don't really know who you married until you see them in divorce court.
Oh God. Why is that though? Why is it that when people get divorced or they break up, they just turn into somebody else?
The love went down for real. Listen, it was an extremely strong infatuation.
Do you think the love wasn't there? Or they just so angry that they acting out.
Hey man, listen, Betty Wright had already tell you. She said, you know what I'm saying, after the pain, I can't explain why I still love you like I do, but I do.
You know, we need to talk about that on the show one day, boss. Why is
Yeah.
it that when people break up, it gets real ugly? Like when people divorce, it gets real ugly. I mean, it gets so ugly, you wouldn't even know the two people was in love with each other. It gets that ugly.
Listen to this right here.
Oh, you still do me like you do. After the pain, we sit and we talk a while.
She said, after the pain, we sit and we talk a while now.
And I fight with all my might to hold back the tears from falling with a pleasant smile. And after the rain, I can't believe
You got the nerve to still call me baby. Let's stop right there. She's after you still got the nerve to still call me baby.
After everything you done.
Come on now. See, these people were talking. See, they was giving us the answers back then.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you say I'm 10 years older than you. They were probably 30 years older than me. But these words still hold true.
and I try to
Tell you no, it ain't so. But I just know this ain't in me. Now, she talking about love.
'Cause boy, I still love you like I do.
And she said, I guess no just ain't in me. She said, listen, come on now. Y'all don't understand this.
Boy, you still do me like you do. Yeah, I know you're laughing.
Talk to him, Betty.
Pain. Yeah, you're right. I sure did. I said I'd never take him back again. Well, it's a woman's prerogative to change her mind, isn't it? But we do it all the time. Don't laugh. You probably done the same thing too. It's just that you know me and I don't know you. You know, one thing time has taught me that having a piece of man is better than having no man at all. So I'm gonna just take what I got and work with it. You understand what I mean? And don't you remember thinking back just a few years when people used to try to help you stay together? They find out you were on the verge of breaking up. They used to cook up.
Don't blame Mr. Magic. Don't blame Mr. Magic.
Don't blame Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie is just a man, and he's doing the best he can. I heard him say, don't blame Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie is just a man, and he's
Doing the best he can. That's why I still love you like I do. Hey, what you talking about, young lady?
Me?
Yeah, well, what you take from that? What you take from Betty? Like, we just give me one note from Betty, and we can get out of here today. We're gonna let these people go. You know what I mean?
The note
Yeah.
that I took from Betty was she said, "Keep your jit job."
Get my jit job. Hey, after,
I said, keep your jit job. Keep producing the show jit. That's what I took from it. I
hey
heard you
man,
hitting them high keys over there.
hey man, I'm in there, man. Listen, cause I understand what's going on in there. Oh, she said, don't blame Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie is just a man, and he's doing the best he can. She said, hey, and she said she learned in her time having a piece of man is better than having no man at all.
Now, listen, we got to talk about that one day because I definitely heard that.
Man, I know you heard that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then. So look, man. Hey, for all the people, man, we appreciate you checking in to this episode of Two Cups of Truth, bringing back Love Deposit Wednesday. Definitely big shots out, big salutes to James Taylor.
Yes.
Definitely want to go check out his show, June the 24th. Um, what's the name of it?
The prize. It's going
Yeah,
to
We
be
Are the Prize
yeah, up on the Marietta Square at the Strand.
at the Marietta Square at the Strand.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, June 24th. I think the showtime. What I think I saw it was like, I want to say between 7 and 8 o'clock, but we can look up. But just stay posted on our Facebook. I'm gonna get the information. I'm gonna post it up to my social media account so we can make sure we got it. For that opening, I think that's opening day, June 24th. If you can, definitely know what I'm saying. Meet me, Shay, and the cast of Jet, and some other podcasters from Two Cups of Truth. And we're gonna just try to go at the time as a team. We're gonna go try to support this in numbers. And if you can purchase your ticket early, we're gonna get the ticket information. We're gonna get it up. We're gonna get it on the website too. We're gonna put it on all the social media handles. But yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. Hey, the
I love to
royal,
see it. I love
the
it. The support, I love it.
yeah, the royal queen. You
Oh,
see,
yeah.
she got the chairs. You know what I'm saying? She got the chair behind her. Like, you can rent them chairs from her too, people.
Oh, yeah.
She'll definitely let you rent them chairs. You want to feel like Shay for a day? Hey, if
You
you
want
would
to
like
be
to
royal?
hey man, you want to feel like Shay for a day, man? Then you definitely can call the royal queen and get you them royal chairs.
Oh, yeah.
Hey man, so peace out, love. Like Donna Simpson said. What did Donna Simpson used to say?
Peace, love, and soul.
Yeah, something like that. We out.